phones actually have pretty decent cameras, man. Pretty fantastic. Somebody else was also surprised by that. They're like, wow, what kind of cameras you guys use? I'm like, our cell phones. Believe it or not, the worst angle is the one with the most expensive camera.
Yours. Oh, yours.
The Osmo.
Oh, the Osmo?
Yeah.
Poor little bastard. We like him the way he is.
But I think we fixed some of the settings now. It'll be okay.
And there's still so many more settings I can dive into with him.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. We just need to...
Osmo is...
You did not... If you were a salesperson for Osmo, you would have been fired, sir.
I would have sold no Osmos.
Yeah. How do you...
Are we recording?
We are.
Ready?
Oh, yeah, I get you. Fareed's. This is going to be a tradition for you now?
Yes.
We're going to blow the budget. Wait, put it in front of the mic, because there's nothing on the back. You got to put it, like, right out here in front of the mic. There you go.
Ready?
The budget is just blown from this point on. Wow. Oh my, sir.
That's so good.
Yeah, it is. That is pretty good.
Woo!
This is the guy who literally, ladies and gentlemen, if you have watched the other episodes of the podcast, this is the guy who would basically drink toilet water if you told him it was better than foreign country tap water, which maybe to be real, it is.
It currently is.
But this is the guy who argued about water and the quality thereof. For arguably, I don't know, 10 minutes we went on about that, and then it just ended with inappropriate.
We get a little ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah. That's okay. Now I've got him on liquid death.
It's tasty, but more importantly, it sounds correct.
Yeah. Dude, I like the little angle you're doing with your mic right there. Like, here I am all basic and square. You're supposed to be the square one, not me.
I think out of boxes. I'm not meant to be put in your box.
That's okay, buddy.
Can I tell you what I did last night?
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
3 hours in front of my fireplace.
Jerking off.
Listening to the same sad piano song. 2-minute long piano song on repeat for 3 hours.
Dude, what the fuck, man? Now I can't get the idea of you in the fucking fireplace, butt-ass naked. For 3 hours? Oh, God.
The more frustrating part is I didn't come for 3 hours.
Yeah, wow, that would be miserable. That's enough of the faces. That's nightmare fuel if I've ever seen it. That's enough. I'm going to cut right into that. I just want you to know. I will edit that, and I will cut directly to your face. Yeah. That's funny, man. Good laughs. I'm in a good mood today, man. I had, just to touch base back on our... You want to turn that one on? To touch base.
You want me to turn something on?
Just can't do it, apparently. Can't be serious this morning. It's okay. We're very serious all of the time.
He's dead.
Perfect. That's okay.
Boom.
Shakalaka. But yeah, I'm in a chipper mood this morning, sir. I slept good. The holiday season was good. How were your holidays?
I hurt myself last night.
Yeah.
I stayed up way too late. I cleaned up the things I shouldn't have cleaned up, and I was like, all right, I'll be fine in the morning. Yeah, how nice.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It's a hell of a compliment. Yeah, no doubt.
Shall we get started?
Yeah.
Hello, guys. Welcome to the Little Pricks Podcast.
Hey, yo.
We've got Devon here.
What's up?
We've got me, Fareed, here, ready to dive into a couple of topics. We want to take a chance to kind of catch up from the holidays because we have been out and about.
Dude, it was busy. Wow.
Yes, it was.
So busy, but good. It was really good. Yeah.
It was a really good holiday season.
How was yours, man? Tell me about yours.
I got everything I wanted.
Oh, that's what he thinks about. Oh, that's what it is. No, I get it.
Yeah, I got everything I wanted.
Little brat kid. I got everything I wanted.
I got to see my grandma.
Oh, here we go. Now he's like, I'll make him feel like an asshole.
I got to spend time with all of my family. People I didn't think I'd see in the same room.
Yeah, dude, that's actually huge. That's so hard to do.
I got to have a very in-depth and emotional conversation with someone that was very important.
Yeah, wow.
I got everything I wanted. Just about. Call it a 98%.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Good for you.
This year,
Out of the park, huh?
Out of the
Home
park.
run.
Home
Man,
run.
good for you, dude.
You're sitting here thinking I got material things.
Yeah, no, I was just giving you a hard time.
Were you?
Yeah.
Because it just seems like you're backpedaling now.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a tiny bit. Maybe a little bit.
You just wanted your toys.
Right.
I got
little
those
bratty,
too.
spoiled kid.
I got those too.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was your favorite?
I got a Lego. A Ford GT Lego set.
Wow.
Yes.
Holy shit, man. I was not expecting that. Like I was expecting, I don't know, maybe like a nice watch or something, or you got a nice suit jacket, or you got some hairstyling cream or something. You're like, I got a Ford GT Lego set.
It was a Technics. I assembled it in like 3 sittings.
Dude, I feel like those things take a long time.
They do.
Especially like a Ford GT,
Oh, yeah.
depending on like how detailed it was.
It's like 1,400 pieces.
Oh my god.
I'm just really good at Legos.
I'd say.
Like when I retired from Legos at the ripe age of 12. Yeah, I was really good at them.
Yeah. Sounds like you came out of retirement, sir, at the ripe age of 32.
I have come out of retirement because I was definitely called out by the fact that I was like, last year, they told me like, last year we gave you another Lego set. Where's that one? Is that one assembled?
Oh no.
And I was like,
alas, it is not.
It's on display. Unassembled in the box, for posterity.
Right.
And they're like, assemble it.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. And so I knocked out both of them in 5 sittings.
Wow. That's a lot. I got a vinyl player. I'm pretty stoked about that.
I saw your vinyl player.
Dude, isn't
awesome.
that cool? The nostalgia, especially just like the kind of overall look of my apartment right now.
Fits the aesthetic.
It just fits the aesthetics so much.
Does that mean that you now have a record player that was bought in 2014?
2014? What?
It's a reference only I'll understand, and I love that.
I was going to say, I was like, do tell. I'm confused.
There's a song called I Got a Record Player That I Bought in 2014. It's a great little song. It's a great little ditty.
All right, fair.
And you should listen to it, and you'll be like, that's cute. That's adorable.
I'll try that out.
Yes.
But yeah, otherwise, man, holidays were great. It was a healing time. It was a really this was the best, holiday season I have had for, quite honestly, as long as I can remember.
I saw on social media.
Yeah,
you did great.
It was pretty good, man.
do.
Did you see the picture? I'll put it right here. I got that dog in me.
I saw that.
Did you see that? Dude, that was supposed to be a gag gift. Ellie bought that for me, and she was like, that was just supposed to be funny. Like, she was just thinking, oh, well, if he doesn't wear it a ton, like, I get it. It's just a silly shirt. I love it. I should have worn it today. What the fuck? I should have worn it today. I'll wear it next episode. I'll do it.
I have a question for you.
All right.
Did any of your family reach out or vice versa?
They did not, actually.
Okay.
The ones I'm no contact with. I still talk with all my siblings. I still talk to my aunt and uncle and my mom's parents. So.
But they did not reach out.
They don't really have a way, to be honest.
Are they blocked?
With you. Yeah.
Oh, so we don't know if they reached out.
Yeah. I don't know. I did think of them. I did think of them warmly. I do wish them well. I hope that they had a good holiday also. But no, I did not. I did not talk to any of the.
I think there's a lot of healing that's probably required in that area, which brings us to today's topic, which is time. And does it heal? Yeah,
and that's such a widespread saying, man. And I'm not positive how that got so widespread. I'd be curious to know. But does time heal all wounds? No, I think that's bullshit. I think if that were true, you'd be better by now. Sorry, I didn't mean to drop a ball that heavy right at the beginning of the episode.
Am I not okay?
Well, it's true, right? Like people are like, oh, yeah, time this, time that. Just wait a little while longer. It'll start to feel better. Well, it doesn't always. I just think that's such bullshit.
So, we pose the question, does time heal all?
Mm-hmm.
I think I definitely agree with you in the sense that time does nothing, so to speak, right? There's nothing specific about time that
not
does
really.
Healing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the question
time without utilizing the time, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so the question becomes posed like, why do people say it? And they use it as such like a quick little quip they just throw out there for you, right?
And maybe that's why they say it. I don't know. It's kind of an easy answer. It's a quick answer. Doesn't have to be super in depth. You don't have to talk about the real ways that you probably need to process grief or deal with whatever issue you have at that given moment.
It feels like a really nice canned response on a Hallmark card.
Sure. Yeah.
Hey, don't worry. Give it time.
Right. Trauma, here's a Hallmark card. Time heals all.
Do you feel better yet?
Right.
Just give it time.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely feels like some card you pick up off of the shelf. It's very generic. It's very cookie cutter.
It'll sink in. Give it time.
Right.
No. I think that is just generic advice that people throw out there. Because it does have some semblance of truth, right? It's just not time itself that does the healing is the problem.
Yeah.
It's that I once heard someone say that, again, it's not time that heals, but it's the fact that your problem is sitting there, and as time grows around it, you have more space between you and the problem.
See, and I just don't buy that either. You know, that one, like I'll even use myself for an example, right? We did the holiday episode, and we recognized that in my own life, I had something so deeply buried or got so much distance away from the the trauma
it was
that
so far down.
The negative experiences that I feel around the holidays that I was so kosher about it. I was like, oh yeah, holidays just aren't for me. I'm just gonna pick up and work extra. And you, Ellie, other friends were like, why?
What is wrong with you?
Like, why would you do that? And I'm like, I just don't dig the holidays, man. Relax. And they're like, no. And then I did, and again, like I said, the holidays this year were healing. It was the best that I've had, and honestly, as long as I can remember. So I don't buy that one either. I think that yes, you can convince yourself, you can trick yourself that you've gotten away from that pain and that you've healed from that pain, but realistically, you just got distance from it.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that one. I think that people do say that because it is true that life starts to grow around the problem. And you grow enough distance around it that for most people it's like, I'm all better. And you're not. Everything is fine now.
Right. And it's a facade. It's a house built on paper foundation.
Have we been there before?
Well, sure. I mean, I
yes,
can admit that.
The answer is yes.
I was going to say,
we've
I've
both been there before.
Yeah, no doubt.
We both sit there pretending like everything is just fine now. Don't worry.
I was going to say, move your mic farther away, sir. You talk too loudly. It hurts.
I just scream. Is this good?
It is, but you might want to lower it down. There you go. Cool.
I've got a record player that I bought in 2014.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know.
Did you make it up or did you hear it somewhere?
No, it's a real song.
Oh, wow.
It's on my phone.
Somebody in the comments enlighten me because I have no idea.
It's for your record player. No, I think time does give you the ability to have perspective. That's the first thing that's really important.
I agree with that, yeah.
So that might be one of the reasons why people say that time heals all. But I think if you're not careful and if you're just using time, carte blanche, blank slate, you can run into the problem where you start to build your own narratives.
Oof.
And you start to color things. And you really, instead of healing from it, you start to just create your own world around it, around the problem. And with time, your brain legitimately creates its own new reality.
No doubt. Yeah. So with that, I would say, as far as navigating the way to heal around the problem instead of getting distance from it, I wanted to bring up the 5 stages of grief. And obviously, I mean, we could do hours. So I'm not going to take like a super deep dive into all of the 5 stages, but I'll cover them briefly. And I think that is what heals. Like, I think you need time to navigate these 5 stages of grief, and maybe that's what people mean sometimes, but I think a lot of the times that's not what people mean. So I think inside of having that time, you need to navigate the first stage, which is denial, or another common way to describe this stage of grief is that numb feeling, or like dissociating a little bit.
Dissociating. Yeah,
just complete and total denial. So that's number 1. Number 2 is anger, a very real and rational emotion to feel around a situation of loss or trauma or some other third thing. Then you have number 3, the bargaining. That's where you get the what ifs, right? Like, what if I'd have done this? What if they had done that? What if? So that's the bargaining stage. Depression is number 4, another very common and rational emotion to feel. But number 5 is acceptance. And I think that's where people are like, all acceptance is this, or acceptance you just lay down and forget about it. No, it's not necessarily that you forget about it. And to be quite frank, and I think this is the part that hangs up a lot of people, and I would argue that this is where a lot of people get stuck in this stage of acceptance. Acceptance is just learning to live again. Sometimes it's not always getting over it or the pain finally goes away. It's just, you just learn to live again, man. It's not always... It's just simply what it says. It's just acceptance, accepting what is, and learn to live with it and learn to live again. So,
And that is usually one of the hardest ones, I'd say.
and that's why I said, I think that's why a lot of people struggle and get stuck in that stage. I think you can get stuck in any of these stages. I would say likely, including myself, and I'll call myself out even on it. It's the acceptance. That's where it's hard to move on from. And maybe even learning to live there is more of the answer than anything. I don't know. What do you think?
I think you're right. The hard part about that acceptance is that you now have to view your world in a different light.
And
It's
true
colored
acceptance
differently.
forces you to do that, yeah.
Well, because things have changed,
Yeah,
right?
things have changed, man.
If it's a death or the end of a relationship or
Anything, yeah.
your friend having betrayed you, you
Mhm.
now have to view the world differently.
Yep. You got
Because
to put on that
before-
different lens, man.
Before your lens was colored with the beauty of whatever was the situation.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good
and,
point.
And now you don't have that anymore. You have to reframe your mindset,
Yeah.
which I would say brings us to the next portion of that, right? Where it's, okay, so time clearly does not heal all, right? Stuff
Yeah,
just
time
grows
itself
around
just,
problems.
Yeah, no doubt.
So the main question you have to ask is, how can we effectively use time as a tool to heal all? Because time's going to happen regardless.
That's a good
It's going
question,
to pass.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, how do we use it to our advantage so that we can really benefit from it in some way, shape, or form? And I would actually go back to the two things earlier we were talking about. Obviously, the 5 stages of grief.
Yeah, that's a good one, for sure.
And we know now that things are going to grow around it, right? Around the problem.
Okay.
We also know that we run the risk of creating our own brand new narrative to help ourselves feel better about it. And I think the real goal is to avoid falling into the pitfall of coloring it your way and taking time to process it.
Yeah.
Because I think this goes back to a prior episode of ours, the cost of change, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
man, that was a good one.
That was
a good one.
She was heavy.
It's the most popular so far, actually.
That one's
By
heavy.
like a large margin, it's our most popular.
It's such a heavy topic, but
It's a good one, though. I think we talked about a lot of really good things, man.
I think we use that as the basis on how to get over wounds,
Yeah.
right? Because it's a forced change.
Yeah.
Now, you can remain hurting if you decide you don't want to leave that space, if you don't want to change. And pain is an amazing motivator.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. That's why in like some of the previous episodes, I say I welcome pain. Head strong.
Good.
Straight on, I'll face pain because
That's-
God, it's such a good motivator.
That is
like you
something.
said.
I think I said it to you, right? Where
Probably.
It's something that we we see as a strong thing in our faith, right? In our faith, we see pain is not something you should run from.
Yeah.
It's something you should utilize. Pain is a gift in many ways, right?
And that one hurts, right? Especially when you're in the pain. It's hard to hear that. It's hard for me to hear it, and I'm not even necessarily actively in pain. I'm like, no, it's not a gift.
I know,
But-
it's truly a gift. Now we obviously have. Excuse me. Hold on.
No, you're good.
Now, obviously, for religious people, we use pain as a little bit of a different tool, right?
Right.
We believe that pain should help bring you closer to your Creator. And by doing that, taking shelter and using that to strengthen you and
sure.
to bring
That
you
makes
towards
sense.
results, right?
I could see that, yeah.
That is the goal. Come
Yeah.
find your shelter in your Creator and grow from there, right? Try to find the healthy things. If you look into your holy book, it'll give you the answers on how to heal. And realistically, for us, it's pretty healthy the way it's recommended in there. You obviously don't have to be religious to find healing.
Right.
I just
Imagine.
I just find that for me and
Right, sure.
people in my boat tend to find that to be very cathartic.
Yeah,
And
no
I'd
doubt.
almost be willing to bet that religious people tend to find easier time in healing.
Really?
Only because we have like direct instructions in front of us.
Maybe so.
Like, that's the unfortunate part about people who don't have any kind of strong faith is like we are loaded with instructions on what to do in different things, right? That I don't know if you ever saw the Love Guru.
Sounds familiar.
It's such a funny movie, man. It was a Michael Myers movie, and he was a guru, right?
Right.
He was like a semi-fraud, but not, right? And he has all these like weird, what are they called? When you have you spell out a word, and each letter has a meaning. Well, either way, he was. I can't remember the word.
I'm lost,
right now.
sir.
It's not an anagram. It's just
Either way, Fareed. Okay. Spit it out.
Can't spit it out. So
Spit it out, sir.
He goes, Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's so
God,
funny.
I was trying to keep it together and being respectful, but Jesus.
But I mean, it's not.
What the fuck?
I mean, it's funny, right?
Yeah,
it's comedic, but it's like not wrong in the context for religious people.
Right.
Right.
But pretty much just for religious people without getting into a large debate here.
Well, I mean, take the word God out, right?
Sure.
And you could use a lot of that information still. That's the point of it. That's the point, right?
And take your son up to the mountain and axe that motherfucker
He
out
does.
of love for me.
He says no at the end.
Oh, yeah, right. Right as he has the fucking hatchet up in the air about to wax this motherfucker. And then he says, wait. Gotcha.
Well,
You're the man, though.
Well, hold
Love
on.
ya.
As you shit on that, right? Relate that back to this topic.
Yeah, sure.
It's going to hurt, though. The point is, to get across hard things, massive sacrifices are required at times.
No, God.
I'm not. The point of the meaning is sometimes sacrifice is required. What that sacrifice is, who knows?
All right.
The point is sometimes you have to do things you don't want
All
to
right,
do.
Fareed. Religious bandwagon over, buddy. I gave you the light as long as I could. Hop the fuck off, bud.
I'm just saying we have instructions that are real easy to read at times.
Right. Murder your children, folks. That's how you heal. That's how you get better. And hopefully God calls it off at the last moment.
Luckily, he doesn't talk to us like that anymore, so we're okay.
Jesus Christ, where were we?
It's the sleep deprivation.
God. Okay, where were we for real?
No, we were just talking about how we use time effectively, right?
Jesus, that's where we were? That's how far we've gone from that?
What you're saying? Say the saying. Do the saying.
What?
Do the saying.
What's the saying?
If I ever say do the saying, you should know what that means by now. I've asked you multiple times.
That's hard to tell. Which one? Remind me.
Every day.
Oh, every day we stray farther from God's grace.
Yes!
That one gets you, huh?
It's just so funny how you say it.
God.
I love it.
Yeah,
To me, it just makes me so happy.
I'm so happy for you, buddy. God, you even look like a preacher. Christ almighty.
No, I don't. I look handsome.
No, you look like a preacher.
I'm not a preacher. I'm not a Christian.
Well, tough break, buddy. That's what you look like.
Welcome to our Bible study.
Fucking hell. Focus, Fareed. Come on,
I need
buddy.
a minute. I just need to reach that minute.
I think you do, yeah.
I just had a little giggle fest inside of me, man.
That's okay.
I
buddy.
think that was needed. I
Yeah.
felt like a mild headache, but it's okay.
You always have a headache, sir.
It's because it's like the last few times we've done this, I've just been like punishment nights.
Yeah.
That's all. That's on me. But before we start again, my tablet is back up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Was Osmo still recording?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We're good on that one. Oh, well, there's no internet here, so it doesn't matter.
I was wondering where you were going with that, but
Yeah, that's
playing
silly.
some solitaire over there? I mean, that's about all you could get done with that thing.
So back to how we can effectively use time to heal.
Right. And I think that, probably not only researching, but exploring those 5 stages of grief. And, it's always played out in this order. It's always in the order of denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. But I would like to argue that
Doesn't
it's
always
not
come
always
that way.
in that order.
Nope.
And sometimes, you might
go back and
move
forth.
to depression, but then go back to anger, then back to bargaining, and then just denial all in itself. So it's not necessarily all in that order. It's a decent way to lay it out, but it's okay if you don't go in that order.
There can be a lot of back and forth there too.
Yeah,
I've seen myself jump from denial to depression to, angry all of a sudden. You're like, why?
I would even argue that I've jumped from like denial to acceptance back and forth. Like thought I was moving on, thought I was going to acceptance, and then just straight up, nope,
boom, hurt yourself.
Numb, denial. Then probably some anger after that.
It's really a shame too, but it is what it is. It's part of the process,
man.
And you can't be hard on yourself during that time.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
I would say the biggest thing is if you understand you've suffered a loss that you're reeling from, and you have made the conscious, intentional choice to use time to help you heal as a tool and not let time pass you by to let the problem kind of get further out of the lens.
Right.
You're already miles ahead of anything else.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so time's just an element. It's just a part of it. It's an ingredient in the recipe.
It's also the red herring for most people.
Yeah.
People believe it's just time. No, it is not.
It's not, man.
Time is just a great constant.
And I think that's how people get to the realization and they say, fuck, like it's been years. Why don't I feel better? Why has nothing changed?
I can tell you right now that I went through that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you really?
I did.
Just like had the sudden epiphany that holy shit, it's been years. Why don't I feel better?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I mean,
do share if you will, but you don't have to.
Yeah, it was part of the cost of change. We discussed it, but I had been hung up on emotions after a breakup.
Ooh.
And I never understood why. I had moved on, dated new people.
Yeah.
And then, I just thought to myself, I had done a lot of things to get over it.
Sure.
Lots of things. I sought out therapy. I had sought out giving it just space. I'd sought out, writing things down, talking to myself about it, lots and lots of different things.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I realized it was that childhood trauma, right, that I had experienced that really had me kind of hinged there.
Man, so multifaceted, all these things.
I know, right? But it was because I hadn't taken a moment to look at what hurts, right?
Yeah.
What is hurting in me?
Yeah, what actually is it?
And then all of a sudden, and this is actually where it's really interesting, all of a sudden, the moment I dealt with that childhood trauma, it was like a rubber band snapback.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden, all that time I put in between us,
boom,
instant fix.
Yeah.
Because time had passed. The problem was far enough away. And then I realized it was never really the problem. Because I'd colored it my own way.
Yeah.
It was never really the problem.
It's a dangerous game, man.
Oh, terribly dangerous game. You have to take a ruthless and relentless ideology in fixing the things that hurt, because pain is the only mechanism our mind and body have to notify us something is wrong.
And to change it, make it stop.
Yes, make it stop.
Man, this is, wow.
You had another saying that I loved during your recovery and healing. What was that?
Oh, well, there's a few. There's a lot that I like, but
it's one that you would say. It was just yours. It's about a relentless pursuit.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, give me some kind of direction. Yeah, the relentless pursuit of a better version of myself. And because it is constant. It's constant, right? That's where it works for me, and that's where where I draw the motivation for me is that sometimes we get in the mindset or the frame of mind where it's just this goal, and we're very goal oriented, and that's good. Like as humans, it helps us solve a lot of problems, but in healing, quote unquote, I don't ever try to get to the destination of healed or happy or some of these other things, because sometimes we get in that chase of that, and then it's like because we've made it a destination, you never actually get the happiness fully, you never actually heal. It's just more of a constant. It's a slow burn. It's something you work on.
I want to make a small case here, though.
Yeah.
To the contrary.
Okay.
Finally, some contrarian to you. I've been in all agreement with you this time. I think if you're not careful,
Yeah.
people tend to fall into the pitfall of always healing. I'm always healing. No, you are not.
Well, not always healing, just always working, that relentless pursuit of
There's
a better
relentless
version
pursuit,
of yourself.
But I want people to remind themselves sometimes that healing is a phase, and phases end. After a while, the wound heals, it scars over, it is stronger than it was before. Leave it alone.
Anatomically speaking, that's not
I
correct.
know. The scar tissue is always a little small. But that's what the point of scar tissue is, supposed to make it a little bit stronger. And actually, why do you think we professional like fighters, for example, will break the hell out of their bones in kicking to scar it over to make it stronger? It thickens. It does make it stronger to an extent. That is the intent of scarring.
That is different, sir.
Okay.
That is different than scarring.
That's the point. Is what I'm trying to make. The
They
point
do not
is
break their bones.
yeah, they do. They microfractures.
Yeah.
When
They'll
you-
like
when
kick
you-
a pole or something. Or
Well,
like,
bags usually, but you kick stuff and your bones will break, microfractures, and they heal stronger than they were before.
Well, I just was going to say, is that where you feel like you've been stuck in your life? Because I think, you're very passionate about this. I don't want to be healing. I don't want to be staying in this healing phase. And is that somewhere you feel like you've been stuck before, or you've observed other people be stuck?
Yeah, I've observed people get stuck, and it's not that I don't want to be healing. It's that
You don't want to be constantly healing.
I think you need to move past that over time, and then get to experience life again in different ways.
You need the acceptance stage, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big part, right? Like all this here, the first 4 steps are that healing, right? Because that denial, it's the processing stage, right? The anger, you're going through everything in your head, and you're like, no, that's not how that goes, right?
Right.
Your bargaining says, well, what could I have done to fix it, right? And then your depression is like that first step of accepting that like you've sealed a fate of some sort,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then the acceptance and going, okay, this all kind of makes sense now. Am I happy with it? No, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I just think that I don't like the idea of being stuck anywhere. Life is about moving forward. Life is about growth.
Yeah, no doubt. But I think also consequently trying to like move past it, do those things is where people like, we talk about the concept of time and how important it is in healing and in, utilizing it in a way. Hold on. Utilizing it in a way to heal and process through these things. And if you don't use it adequately and you try to rush through it and you don't spend that adequate amount of time in the healing phase, I think that's where you'll have that realization that you look back and you're like, fuck, it's been years and I still haven't moved on, like actually haven't moved on,
I want to interject and use you as an example.
Okay.
Because you are really good at it.
Yeah.
You were very intentional.
Oh, yeah.
And you defined it like, hey, I am now in a stage of change, growth, and healing.
Yeah.
You are very, very intentional. You were very clear about it.
Yeah.
And you were like, I don't know when I'll be done, but I'll know when I'm done.
Yeah, I think so.
And you were, I watched
what
you.
Are you ever done is the question. That's where you get.
You can finish a project and still want to make changes.
That doesn't make sense. How are you finished with the project if you want to make changes?
You can look at things over time. Like you build a car, it's done. But I might go change that back later, right? Maybe I want to do that now.
Come out with a new version.
Not even come out with a new version, right?
The C8 Corvette comes out. It's still the Corvette.
Yeah, it's still a Corvette. It's still a finished product. But I meant more like a project car, right? Like I build out my vehicles, for example, and I'm like, it looks great. Then maybe 6 months later, I'm like, I can make a couple of changes. Now my life has changed. Things look a little different, right? Maintenance, right?
Yeah.
Small adjustments. But no, I was very impressed by how you went about it and the way you spoke about how you made your changes.
Right.
And I actually look at that time very fondly for you. And I use that as a very good example for myself, right? Because as long as you're actively aware of what you're doing, you're making decisions to better yourself. And that kind of guides you in that healing. Yeah. That to me was impressive. I was just very impressed by you.
Nice. Yeah. And likewise, man. I mean, hey, you had that moment. You had that pivotal moment where you hit that threshold and said no more.
It was a moment.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That bad?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think you were like deer in the headlights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, it was like...
So,
I remember the sound it made.
so the word of advice from Little Pricks Podcast, everyone, don't be like Fareed and get the... I'll have to edit that in. That's hilarious. Yeah. Oh, boy. Well, that's good, man. Yeah, so I think, to summarize, Fareed, does time heal all wounds? No. That's horse shit. Utilizing your time in a way that actually helps you navigate and determine and uproot the source of your pain, I think, is what heals wounds.
Agreed with you. I completely agree. Saying time heals all is like saying the power drill builds the house.
Yeah, that's
it
insane.
doesn't.
It does not.
It is the tool.
It is a tool to get there.
Yes.
It is an avenue, So use your time wisely, friends. Give yourself some time. Understand that growth is not linear. These 5 stages of grief don't always have to be in the order that they are displayed. And at the end of the day, don't be like Fareed and do the thing. Yeah, don't be like that.
If it works.
Right. Oh, God.
And if it happens to you, make sure it happens earlier on than later on.
Yeah.
Don't wait
definitely.
6 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Valid.
That's the biggest thing. Face your problems head on.
But
don't let time take you away. Go with time.
Wow, good one.
Thanks.
Need to edit some dust in here.
Yes.
I don't know if I can do that or not, but I'll try.
Well, thank you guys for listening to our podcast. And it was a bit of a journey.
Yeah.
I would say we went to different places.
Yeah.
We love you all. We thank you for all the support you've been giving us.
Please keep
been
commenting.
awesome.
Keep reaching out. Need some emails. Y'all slacking on the emails. I
Comment.
need more of those.
Like, subscribe, and please share us with your friends.
Yeah, we're on all platforms.
If you like us at all as people, please show us to other people.
Well, if you like me, please share.
If you like Devon,
Right.
he feeds on this.
Right.
Without it, he withers and dies.
Right. My
He
life
does-
depends on it.
He does the editing. He wants to feel like he has purpose.
Yeah, dude. The edit's getting better though. It's faster.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You're
But
doing
yeah,
a great job.
like, subscribe, everyone.
And hit the notification bell.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Till next time.
Peace.
I'm Fareed. This is Devon. Adios.
See you later. That's enough of the faces. That's nightmare fuel if I've ever seen it.
I was not fine in the morning.
Now you seem to be dragging ass pretty bad.
I'm only dragging half an ass.
Oh, God.
I'm writing down our notes.
Oh, I have notes also. Terrible.
Effective ways to tell a story or to convey information.
Right.
That's all it is.
You like that? I took off the live since you didn't like live.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You could have changed it to love every Friday. Why is it on Eastern time?
Because most people are going to be on Eastern Standard Time, man.
Fuck those people.
Like, that covers a large part of the country.
But most of our audience is Mountain Standard.
I don't believe that, actually.
We have 4 people in West Virginia that listen.
That's not
The
true.
rest are in Tucson.
I don't know, man. I think you'd be surprised. Did you see the Facebook page was getting up to like well over 100?
I saw that 109 last I checked last night.
It's like 115 now. Oh. That's sweet, dude. I'm so excited. Thank you all.
We need to post more content on the Facebooks.
Yeah, I think so. It's hard to be the editor and the social media runner. You want to take over Facebook?
Yeah, but I need to get the content from you. I'll post it.
Yeah.
But you need to be like, hey, I created these videos, and this is for you. Cherish it. Put it on the Facebook, and I will do that. You
I
and
like
your
how
satanic
slowly
rings.
you're just... Wait, what? What about Satanism?
Your satanic rings are just staring at me.
You like it? I meant to tag the grub in that one episode where you were very freaked out by their sticker on my water bottle.
Not again.
You know, remember the...
I remember.
Yeah.
We don't got to talk about him again.
It's okay. I'll edit it in here, and then I'll tag the grub on this episode.
Ooh, I can watch us. We're looking so good.
Yeah, my posture is fantastic this morning. Wow. It's usually not. It's usually god-awful.
It's never awful. You're
No?
Devon. You're perfect.
Wow. Whisper it in my ear.
Okay. I did have someone tell me last night, they're like, your voice puts me to sleep so comfortably.
No doubt.
I was
Wow.
like, oh, God. Wow. I'm just hearing this a lot lately.